but when I received food stamps, I was at financially the lowest point in my life. My daughter and I would go to Wendy's, and Deja would eat the chicken nuggets. She didn't like French fries, so I ate the French fries, and we split the drink. So we're living off of this 99-cent menu, splitting everything. But it came to a point where even that was tough, and it wasn't sustainable to feed a kid. And I had to go and get food stamps. So when I heard that our president decided to terminate food stamps, it literally broke my heart, because it took me to a place of thinking about what would I have done if I could not access EBT.
I need you to start to believe that you are more than who you've told yourself you are. You're more than what society says you are. I don't care what that ex-boyfriend or girlfriend told you. I don't care what that ex-husband or wife told you. I don't care what your teacher in the 11th grade told you. I don't care what your parents told you. I need you to tell you that you are more than that.
I'm literally digging deep here and going back to one of the darkest places in my life, and I want to share with you what I actually did. And I turned my pain into a product.
Do the math, put it on paper so you can see. Here's the number. You need to make $100 a day.
You have to drop your pride and get to work. Never let somebody, if you're capable, be in control of how you feed yourself and your family ever again. Welcome to another episode of the Social Proof Podcast. My name is Donni Wiggins, your favorite business coach, entrepreneur, podcaster, all the things. And I'm sitting here with
David Shands, entrepreneur, father, husband, friend, EBT buyer.
Child of God.
Child of God, yeah, for sure.
All
a
the
tech
things.
founder, podcaster. Let's do this, man. We just got to get into it, man.
We just have to get into it. So David hit me this morning and he said, let's do an episode about the SNAP benefits. Like, we got to be able to do something about it. Like, let's talk to our audience, because we know that we have people who are brand new to entrepreneurship, thinking about entrepreneurship, and people all over the world are struggling right now with this decision to temporarily, I think, end SNAP benefits. And I immediately thought that it was a great idea. It means something to me because I am a former EBT card recipient, and you are.
I don't know. I bought some, okay? Golly, I bought the 2-for-1, all right? I don't know what they were doing with the money. But I'm sure something they needed some cash for.
In full transparency, you guys, this is our second time starting this episode. And in the beginning, David had a story that I just thought you should share again.
It wasn't really a story. I'm just saying, the person that I was buying the EBT, the 2-for-1 groceries from, he would just buy weed with the money. You know what I mean? And I just knew it.
And so
I understood it.
I was telling David that there was a time in his life where he was an advocate for other people's drug use.
I don't like the way you say it like that, but continue.
Yeah.
With your little motivational speech, okay?
Growth, though. This is growth.
100%.
So in all seriousness, we were talking about when our first attempt at getting this episode done, I was sharing with you guys, and I'll share it again here, how when I was a recipient of EBT, I don't know if it was called SNAP at that time, but when I received food stamps, let's just use layman's terms and call it what it is, I was at financially the lowest point in my life. You guys have heard me tell this story. My daughter and I would go to Wendy's, and they had the 99-cent menu, and we would get chicken nuggets, French fries, and a big drink. You get the big drink for 99 cents. And Deja would eat the chicken nuggets. She didn't like French fries, so I ate the French fries, and we split the drink. And after so many weeks of doing this all the time, we'd alternate between the hamburger when they put that on the 99-cent menu and all the things. And then Wendy's introduced the 99-cent baked potato. So we're living off of this 99-cent menu, splitting everything. But it came to a point where even that was tough, and it wasn't sustainable to feed a kid. And I had to go and get food stamps, right? It was one of the most humbling times of my life. And so when I heard that our sorry for a president decided to terminate food stamps because he could care less about the American people, it literally broke my heart, because it took me to a place of thinking about what would I have done if I could not access EBT or my food stamps. I tell the story so many times of what I actually did do, because I didn't feel good about getting food stamps. I didn't feel good about getting food stamps for so many reasons, but the biggest reason that I didn't feel good about it was because I knew how capable and qualified I was to work and do something. And I didn't feel like I necessarily deserved that benefit. Like me getting the benefit was taking away from people who couldn't work, were disabled, and had all kinds of circumstances happen. And so today, for the single mom who's out there struggling to put food on the table, for the single father who's out there struggling to put food on the table, for the low-income family that's working 2 and 3 jobs and can't seem to still make ends meet, for that young adult who's on your way and you just graduated college and they're introducing you to a new role for $40,000 a year, but in Atlanta, at least it takes $115,000 to live a very just average lifestyle. This is for you.
Absolutely.
This is for you. The SNAP Survival Guide and what to do if your benefits are gone or delayed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's an important conversation to have, primarily because, well, I was looking it up today, and it shows that it takes $8 billion a month to fund SNAP benefits, and I think it's a little over 41 or 42 million people that receive it every single month. 1 out of every 8 people are on it. So the government's stance isn't, well, on the surface, it's not, let me take the SNAP benefits away from black people, or like JJ was talking about, it's not just black people, it's more white people on it than black people, but it's not just, let's just take the benefits away. I think their ideology is when people are on assistance, it makes them weak, or it makes them not work or something like that, right? So I think that's their positioning, which, I mean, it's just, you can't have this many people on this program and just take it away and expect people to just get better.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No, it doesn't work like that. To your point, it does take $8 billion to fund SNAP benefits. There's $5 billion in a reserve account right now, or what's left over in the fund, that a federal judge said, no, you have to at least issue that. So these people will now get decreased benefits. And let me be the first.
That's just November, though.
That's just November. What are we going to do in December? And never mind the holidays. If I'm being totally honest with you, at some point you have to say, we just can't do the holidays, right? And I have been there. I am not a person that, it's easier said than done. I'm telling you what I did, okay? Like, at some point you have to say, there are no holidays here, right? I'll take the kids to Five Below. Everybody gets to pick a toy, and that just is what it is. There are some people who are taking advantage of SNAP benefits because that don't deserve them. I'm not going to say why you're doing it, but you don't deserve it, and you know you don't deserve it. And to you, at a time like this, I would say use your human heart and your human emotion and go do something else and let the people who need it actually take advantage of these benefits. Here's what's interesting, though. For those of you who are capable and qualified to do something, to get jobs and all the things, I remember speaking to so many entrepreneurs, even recently, or aspiring people who say, but I can't make too much money because then my SNAP benefits would end. And I am thinking, are you crazy? Are you insane? So I looked it up. The average individual who receives SNAP benefits gets about $300 a month. The average family, and this is US-wide, the average family who gets SNAP benefits gets $574 on average a month. So we're talking anywhere from $300 to $600. And there are so many people with the mindset of, I won't get that job. I don't need to make more money because my SNAP benefits will go away. We're talking about not helping yourself for $300 to $600. But then there are those of you who absolutely need these benefits. And everybody doesn't think the same way. Not everybody is sitting down and doing the math. A mom or a father whose back is up against the wall, all they're thinking is, I can't put food on the table. I need these benefits. They don't have the capacity to use the logical bandwidth that says, but wait a minute, I'm only getting $375 a month. What can I do to earn $375 extra dollars a month? Or what can I do to earn even more than that? Because they'll take your SNAP benefits away if you make too much money. For those of you whose benefits are about to go away, I want you to literally understand we're talking about $300 to $600 on average. I want you to ask yourself a real question right now. This is first things first when we're talking about surviving. Are you qualified to survive outside of SNAP? You're not qualified to survive outside of SNAP if you are terminally ill, if you have a disability that disqualifies you from being able to work, if you have some type of limited mental capacity that disqualifies you from being able to work, or if you have any legal condition that disqualifies you from being able to work. But if you're in a situation right now where you're worried about putting food on the table, I want you to first ask yourself, never mind the kids and how much daycare costs and all the things, we're going to address that. Am I qualified first to start making some more money?
Yeah, absolutely. And so the people that Donni just named, whether you're terminally ill or you have some sort of mental disability, we're not, well, me personally, I'm not primarily talking to that audience.
Neither of us are.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool. We're not talking to that audience. But some of you have been tricked into believing that this is the only way you live. You've been on welfare, your mom's been on welfare, your mom's mom been on welfare, and obviously just looking at the history of how this happened, you can't have a man in the house to get these benefits. So I'm saying to myself, I can't even have a complete family because I don't want to lose my benefits. And people think of it that way. But I want us to really break this down numerically. Mm-hmm. Let's say top end, $600 a month.
Average. And some people get more than that, but this is average. Yeah,
for sure. So, I thought it was $200. $600, let's say $600 on the top end of the average person. I want you to really think to yourself, this is not going to cause you to starve $20 a day. I want you to really think about that. $20 a day. I know a single mom that works 2 jobs and is having a hard time seeing her child because she works 2 jobs. And this is a real 2 job. Like I get my day off is a few hours of a day, and that's when I can rest. And there are people in this situation, but guess what? She does what she has to do. I want you to think to yourself, put the first step is I need you to start to believe that you are more than who you've told yourself you are. You're more than what society says you are. I don't care what that ex-boyfriend or girlfriend told you. I don't care what that ex-husband or wife told you. I don't care what your teacher in the 11th grade told you. I don't care what your parents told you. I need you to tell you that you are more than that. You aren't designed to struggle. And struggle isn't just reserved for a certain group of people, and that's just their lot in life, and that's just exactly what happened. I want you to study people that have been in situations similar to yours or even worse that pulled themselves out of that. I'm telling you, it's possible. The issue is you haven't found out how yet, but you can. The first step in the list of things that I need to tell you today is you have to see yourself more than what you are. I just need you to be inspired and motivated. We ain't give you no practical steps or anything to do right now, but the whole game is played in your head. What you believe you are, you are. Mm-hmm. And I need you to look those kids right in the eye and say, okay, this generational curse stops here. I'm on benefits. My parents are on benefits. Their parents are on benefits. This is just what we do. My advice for my parents was to make sure I apply for the benefits. That's not the advice that you're going to give your child. You are going to live in abundance. The first step, I need you to believe that.
Yeah. The second thing is, I think I did your first step in real time. I'm literally digging deep here and going back to one of the darkest places in my life. And I want to share with you what I actually did. And I turned my pain into a product. Mm-hmm. So I've told this story before. The day that I went to the food stamp office, this was like, I am at my wit's end. I don't know what else to do. And I'm sitting in this food stamp office, Dave, with Deja in the car, because people that I know who were on food stamps shared with me that if you bring your child, they'll take more pity on you and give you like the max, right? Because it really is dependent on a person to tell you what you're going to get. And so I'm sitting at food stamp, I'm sitting in that parking lot, and I got Deja with me, and I'm like, all right, let's go on in here. I'm sitting in this waiting room, and there's so many people coming to either pick up or apply for food stamps. And I'm like, hat real down low. I'm kind of embarrassed, because my history, like I am like most likely to succeed. I had been making money and I'm that girl. And so for me to be in the food stamp office at that point, I didn't know how to see it as anything other than embarrassment. And then my name gets called. My name gets called, and there's this familiar voice that's calling my name, and my heart sinks. I look up, and it's Pam Jones. Pam Jones was the co-captain with me of our high school cheerleading squad. Pam Jones at this time is married. Her husband's got money. They've got the beautiful home, the beautiful cars. And from what I know, she's living the life. And she is my food stamp counselor. She's my counselor for this. And we went through the process. She treated me with so much respect. She gave me what she gave me. But when I walked out of that office, I felt like Pam's going to go gossip to all the girls. Shout out to Pam Jones from Westlake High School, because she never gossiped to all the girls, to my knowledge. It never came back to me. But in that moment, I felt like, oh my God, everybody's going to know that I'm broke. I don't have any money. And so I sat in that parking lot and, I'm crying. I'm embarrassed. And I said, you know what? I'm going to beat Pam to my story. She will never be able to tell my story before I do. And I picked up my phone before we got out of that parking lot, and I made a post on Facebook and said, I have hit rock bottom. I am at the lowest place I have ever been in my life. Watch me build this back up. If you want to be a part of this journey, just comment something like in the comments. This is on Facebook. The post got hundreds of comments, and everybody's like, we should hold each other accountable. And so I started this little accountability group, right? And then it's becoming more and more. They want to meet and do things and get pizza. So now I'm charging a little money to be a part of this accountability group. I literally turned what was my most embarrassing moment. I put it out there. I was transparent. People are also going through what I'm going through. Now I have to be responsible for meetings and meeting platforms and talking to people all over the world, literally, that are going through things. And before you knew it, I had like this rebuild accountability group where people were paying $25 a month. Because of that group, after I don't think I was on food stamps for more than 2 months, maybe. Because of that group, I was able to make enough money to at least cover my groceries. And so I'm going to tell you to turn your pain into a product. What's the ebook that you can write right now? You've got a story that somebody else can relate to, that somebody else says, you know what? You made it through that. Even if you're still struggling in other areas, I did this while I am still broke. I'm still broke, right? Even if you're still struggling, there's something that you've been through that people will either be entertained by, motivated by, inspired by. You can turn it into an ebook. You don't have any money, but you got a phone. You have a computer. Put that thing on Google Docs, save it as a PDF, and literally tell people, cash at me $10 for this ebook. I will send you the link. If that's how you got to get started right now, that's how you get started.
Yep, I love it. So number 3, in the same line of what Donni is saying, do the math. I need you to stop being afraid of numbers. Do the math. I want you to sit down today and calculate what it costs you to live. Calculate what it costs you to live. Calculate how much it's going to cost for groceries. So we understand, let's say you're getting $800 a month or $600 a month. I want you to calculate your rent. I want you to calculate the gas. If you're looking at your debit card, just look at how many times you use your debit card for gas, lights. I want you to do the math because we can blindly struggle because all of this stuff it just feels like a weight because it's not something that we can see. For instance, there's something that you're thinking about right now that's in the forefront of your mind. In about 50 seconds, that thing is going to move over a step and there'll be something else that's at the forefront of your mind. that you're struggling with, you're worried about, you're frustrated with. About 50 seconds after that, there's going to be something else that you're thinking about. And once these things just start swirling around in your head, you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. I'm asking you to do the math, put it on paper so you can see. Here's the number. I need $3,500 every single month. Now, if we need $3,500 every single month, let's just go with $3,000 for easier math. You need to make $100 a day, and you'll be fine. If right now you're with benefits or whatever, it's $3,000 a month, whatever that number is, you need to make $100 a day. Can we make $100 a day? I believe the answer is yes. Yeah. I do. But we never do the math. We just struggle and we be frustrated and we start spending money that we don't have. If it costs us $3,000 and we make $3,000, no, we cannot go to the club. I'm not going to the club with you because I don't have enough. I was at Afrotech talking to this young man, and Afrotech was super dope. Shouts out to Morgan. It was beautiful, high scale. Anybody said anything negative about Afrotech, you're just a hater. Crazy. Okay? Yeah, you're nuts. But I just wound up talking to this guy. I couldn't be no more than 20 years old. And a lot of people come there to find a job with a corporation, which is dope. Go find you a job. But I started talking to this kid. And actually, we got him on camera, and he does websites. Mm-hmm. Fire. I was like, let me see one of the websites. He said, say less. Took his bag off, showed me the websites. Incredible. He said, I also do editing, graphic design. I said, show me what you got. The videos were incredible. They were better than Jay's. It's crazy. He's way better than Jay. But he was fine. Yo, his kid, 20, exciting idea. It's just a dope kid. And you know my entrepreneurial brain starts braining and the numbers start numbering and the math starts mathing. And I said, man, so what are you doing here? He said, man, I'm trying to get a job, man. I can get $100K out of it. I can work for a company, $100K. He said, I develop software. I said, so you're going to develop software for a company and give you $100,000? He said, yes. I showed him my website, Creators Clubhouse. I said, how much you think somebody charged me for this website? He said, I don't know, man. It looks really nice. $2K? I said, yeah, you're about right, actually. And I said, bro, you got a website. I'm actually sitting here trying to think of what website I can get you to build because the website was fire. Mm-hmm. He's like, nah, I don't really do that. You don't really do that. You just showed me that you do. He said, yes, but that was a portfolio to go get a job. I said, bro, if you're going to make $100,000, that's $8,300 a month. You're going to walk home after taxes and stuff like that, maybe $6,000. Bro, you know you can make that if you find 3 people like me? He's like, yeah, but I don't really do that. I'm like, bro, you're going to work harder on the company. They're going to demand a lot of you. I'm not telling him to not get a job, but I need that 20-year-old to see that there's options. I want you to, I just need you to do the math. So number 3, for you all that if you lost your benefits, just do the math. What does it take to replace it? $10 if you're making $300 a month.
Yeah. And I'm just going to add to your number 3, do the math. While you're doing the math to figure out what you need, you also need to be doing the math to figure out what expenses you can cut at this time as well. All right. So add that to your mathematics. The next thing that I did, I think we're on number 4. One of the next things that I did was began to sell extra stuff immediately.
For sure.
Prior to me losing everything at this season in my life, I had acquired things, handbags and shoes and clothes and, all the things. And I remember going into a pawn shop with a Gucci purse that I had spent well over $3,000 for, right? And somebody was like, oh, they'll, buy it at the pawn shop. And I went to the pawn shop and they offered me like $27 for it.
The disrespect.
The level of disrespect. So I made it up in my mind that I'm keeping my bags, right? I'm keeping these bags. I am not selling them off for $20-something just to get a meal. But when I went home, I said, okay, the pawn shop is a scam, really, because all the win is on their side. They give you pennies for things. The hope is that you think that you'll be able to come back and get it later. Most people are never ever able to come back and get it later, and they sell your stuff for high profit. So I said, how can I sell my own stuff? And I went through Deja's closet, took out all her clothes. I put everything, even though they were clean, I put everything in the washer, ironed everything. I took pictures of everything and started putting it on Craigslist and eBay. Would you believe immediately these platforms that will market for you, all you have to do is post. Immediately people started buying stuff, right? So then when I see that people on Craigslist and eBay are buying these things, eBay, you have to ship the things. Craigslist back then, we were risking it all because meet me at the Quick Trip on Redan Road. I'm risking it all to sell this stuff. And when I realized kind of how dangerous it was to do that, I started putting these same pictures on Facebook. Now I'm eliminating the eBay fees and the Craigslist fees that are associated with making these posts, right? So I started taking these same pictures of Deja's old things because the kids have a lot of old stuff, toys and gadgets and books, and I'm putting it on. And this girl who was the wife of this guy that I went to high school with, she had a daughter that was her daughter was 2 years younger than Deja. So every single year or every single season change, I would post all these pictures and she'd just say, how much for all of it? And so I'm like, $1,000. First time I said $1,000. Like I put everything in a bin. Deja had all these nice clothes and things. I put everything in like a bin or two and I would meet her at her house and sell her this stuff for $1,000. Now I have a recurring customer because every time I have a load of things for Deja, I already know who wants to buy it, right? And so now I'm able to say, hey, you guys, get it before it's gone. Like if she didn't respond fast enough, I'm like, get it before it's gone. I always have the same girl who wants to buy this stuff all the time. Well, now I'm going in my closet. It got to the point with her that Deja, I gave her such nice stuff and I would always wash and iron everything, including the socks. It got to the point where she didn't even need to see the stuff. She was just like, whatever you pack up, put it in the bin, $1,000, I got you. So then I started to pack up my own things. I said, if I have not worn this stuff in 60 to 90 days, it can go. Like it goes into a pile of can go. And then I would go through that pile, do the same thing, wash everything, iron everything, and I'm putting it on Facebook. I didn't even go back to Craigslist ever. Now I'm working with Facebook and eBay. You guys have Facebook Marketplace right now. I think eBay is still a thing. You have Instagram. You have all the things, right? You may even be able to do this on TikTok Shop because it's a product. TikTok Shop just requires a product. And so I'm putting my clothes on the internet and I'm like, shop Donnie's closet. This is working. I am getting money for things that are just sitting around my house. And when I realize that people like I'm looking at the categories and I see people are selling like candle holders. Wait a minute. I got candle holders from 3 Thanksgivings ago that I'll never use again. Let me sell these candle holders. Let me sell these picture frames. Let me sell all this stuff that still has tags on them that I hadn't used before. Let me go ahead and sell you all these Christmas decorations in the summer at wholesale price. That is how I started coming up little by little.
I love this. I hope listen, man, if y'all in the chat, if y'all are getting this, you're getting some ideas, and you're more inspired, please put it in the chat. I got number 5. Find a need that can be filled that won't cost you anything to fill it. Find a need that can be filled. So here's a need. I think we understand this, that entrepreneurs need help creating content. Even the content creators, the people that actually work here, y'all probably need help creating your own content, right? I mean, I'm hiring you to create content for me, which means you probably have an issue creating your own content. It's just not that easy. However, what I do know is that every entrepreneur has a phone. And what I do know is every entrepreneur needs to create more content. If I just lost my SNAP benefits and I don't know where I'm going to get my next dollar from, I'm going to reach out to some entrepreneurs or companies and say, I want to come create content for you for a price that's like that you really can't say no to. I'm about to come and give you a month's worth of content. We about to sit down. Give me your phone. You got a really good iPhone. Give me your iPhone. I'm going to tell you what to say. I'm going to record it. I'm going to go into CapCut and I'm going to edit it. and I will post it for you, and I will do that for $1,000 a month. Me, personally, this is me. I promise you I'll be at 20 grand a month in no time. Now, it takes work. It's going to be hard work. However, it doesn't cost me anything. And eventually we could take some money. I can go get my own phone and go get a camera. It doesn't cost you anything to watch. If this was the spring, summertime, and I lost my SNAP benefits and I didn't have a job and I didn't have any money coming in, I am walking around somebody's neighborhood with a bucket and some dish soap and some rags with my kids, knocking on doors saying, let me wash your car. How much does it cost to wash your car? Even going through the drive-thru be like $10, $15. We will hand wash this joint for $15. Listen, give me a dub. And I got my
Inside
kids with me,
and out.
Come on, I got my kids with me, so you're gonna give me a dub. Remember, we were saying if you wanted to make $3,000 a month, and that was your amount that you needed, you need $100 a day. You go wash 5 cars in a neighborhood for $20. That's $100 every single day. The problem is, 1, we didn't do the math. 2, we're not like thinking in a way where I'm going to get out of this. We think somebody's going to save us, and we're watching the news every single day to see when they're going to reinstate it. And we just essentially don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
Think of something that someone needs that you can do, and it won't cost you anything. The 2 things I just said doesn't cost you a dime. You just got to get off your butt. You got to get off the couch, and you actually got to go to work.
Yeah, got to. And then for those people that I mentioned earlier who said, well, it's not as easy as getting a job for me because I have 3 kids. I have, 4 kids, 5 kids. And the cost for daycare exceeds what I would earn if I were to go to work. This is number 6.
This is number 6.
Number 6, if you are a parent of multiple children and you can't get a job right now and you're listening to all these ideas and you're like, but I just don't know. You're staying at home with those kids anyway. I need you to text everybody that you know who has children and say, I will charge you half of what you're paying at daycare. Drop those kids off. They're going to get 2 hot meals every single day. We're going to do activities. We're going to get outside time, nap time, and you pick them up from the comfort of my home. You don't have to worry about that. Let me save you some money right now. I send out a text message that says, hey, the economy is hard for everybody. It is impacting everybody. I know you're paying like $1,000 per kid at daycare right now. Let me do it for $500. Let me do it for $750 for your kids that are this age or younger. I will teach them, feed them, nap them, play with them, exercise them right from the comfort of my home. Now you have your kids at home, you have their kids, and there's just absolutely no reason why you can't make it happen. Clean that house up. Go get some coloring books from the dollar store. Go get some letter and writing books from the dollar store. Clean that backyard up. Create a space for these kids to go outside and play. Take the tuition that these families are paying you. Go buy you some ground beef and some tuna helper. Feed these babies twice a day and make some money.
Come on. Yeah, this is, I don't think the issue is, and I am very empathetic for those who didn't grow up thinking this way, because we are blessed and privileged to even have a mind to think this way, because I do understand that we are, or someone that we're looking at that is in a bad situation, they are exactly who we would be if we had to walk in their shoes for the rest of their lives. We've been blessed to some sort of mentor came into our lives. Somebody suggested some sort of book, right? Somebody suggested some sort of audio to listen to, and it came across at the right time, and our brains started thinking in a different way. But for a lot of people, that has never happened because they grow up in the same neighborhood that they've always grown up in, that their parents, it's just the environment isn't conducive to this type of conversation. So I'm going into number 7 is learn a new skill. Learn a skill. We all have YouTube. You just need to learn a skill. Learn some sort of skill. There's so many things that that a new skill, or there's so much that a new skill can provide for you in your life, but we just refuse to learn the skill. It don't cost you nothing to learn AI. It costs you time, right? It doesn't cost you a dime to learn sales. And there's always somebody like myself that can use somebody in sales. I have a good product, but how do I sell it? I need somebody to take this and go out in the streets and say, I got a book right now that if somebody came up here and said, yo, Dave, give me the books, I'll sell them, we'll split the money. I learned this skill of sales and I can go get them joints off. I'd say bet, no problem. Mm-hmm. But you have to learn a skill. You can't be skillless your whole life. You're 35, 40, 45 years old, and you've never intentionally learned a skill. And I get it. We're in a situation or a season right now where the economy is tough, where I need to do something now. But here's what I can almost guarantee. Next year will be here in no time. Mm-hmm. Next year is coming, for the most part. Now, we can't see the future. We can't guarantee what your, what turn your life is going to take. However, last year and the year before that, you were probably in a mountain of a situation that you maybe felt you weren't going to get out of, or you've always maybe been living on a short string. Like there's always I'm always one paycheck or one bad month away from things going really bad. And maybe we lived that way for 30 years. But if you would have listened to this conversation last year and you started learning a skill over the last 12 months, this month you'd be good at something, and it's the skill that helps you earn money.
Mm-hmm. Number 8.
We are on 8.
Number 8, broker a deal.
Come on.
I got really, really good at this piece.
That don't cost you nothing.
It doesn't cost you anything. So I had been selling real estate, and that's where I made my initial really good start and making some money, right? But during this season, I didn't even have the gas money to take people around to look for homes. But I would have clients every now and then because that was the industry that I was coming from right when I was losing everything. And I would refer real estate deals to other people in my in my real estate brokerage for a fee. Mm-hmm. I will refer this deal to you if you give me a fee. Now, let me tell you how you can take it even further. There are people who you know that have a skill, and there are people who you know that needs that person with that skill, right? So, for example, someone that you may know may need you just marketed the other day for someone to come in and sit down and pull clips, mm-hmm. right? So how much would that job pay?
20 hour.
$20 an hour. So on average a month, what would you say?
It's about $2,000.
About $2,000 a month. Is that a role that is incredibly useful for you?
Yes.
If you found the perfect, if I said to you, David, I have the perfect person that you need, but I'm going to charge you $100 to make the connection. I need the money right now. Perfect person. Here's their portfolio. If I connect you and you hire them, will you give me $100? Yep. Done. Find people who have a skill, but not the audience, and then match them to the people that you know who need their skill and broker a referral fee at the end of the day. Refer people to all kinds of stuff. You know people who need to buy a car. You don't sell cars. Refer them to your friend at the dealership who sells cars. You know people who are looking for homes. You have a great realtor. Refer those people to your realtor who are looking for homes, right? You can literally go to your apartment community and say, hey, what's the referral fee if I refer people for living here? I was pulling out all the stops. I'm pulling out all the stops. I need to get referral fees from all over the place, okay? And that's literally what you call brokering a deal. We have a friend, Maddie J. Mm-hmm. I think Maddie only makes money from brokering deals. I don't know what else Maddie does besides being the plug. He's the plug. I have a girlfriend who she does hair, right? I have a girlfriend who does hair. And for so many years, she's got all these clients coming in and out of her salon. At some point, these women are going to be in the market to purchase a home. Well, she was referring to her friend like, oh, let me refer you. Let me connect. Imagine this friend getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000, $20,000 per closing. You say, just give me $1,000 referral fee. Let me tell you why you should do that. Number one, because it's fair. Number two, because if you give me this referral fee, I'll refer everybody I know to you. You can literally make an extra $10,000, $20,000 a year just brokering deals between people who have a skill and people who need that skill.
100%. And another point in that, so for instance, there's a job role. Here's how you make more money. And there's some people who make money now. So just brought Saul on, and the best way for me to give him some more money is for him to pull these amazing clips, and he keeps going viral. Mm-hmm. You just get better at it. Mm-hmm. You get better at it. Like, I mean, if there's you become more valuable in any role if you can provide more value. If you come in here and let's just say, okay, we're pulling clips and we got some clips coming up and it's cool, it's all right. There's a million people that can do that, which means you're first tier valuable. But if you get to a point where it almost seems like the clips are adding to the strategy of building up the channel, and the channel is making another $6,000 a month, $7,000 a month, and it's like you say something like, bruh, I could probably use a couple more dollars. I'm entertaining it. Mm-hmm. Because there's a clear value. Mm-hmm. But I think people just do their job and they expect the job, because you've been there for a while, that you're going to automatically make money, and it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
You got to get good at something.
Yeah, you got to get really, really, really good.
And for those that are listening, what are you already really, really good at?
What are you good at? What do you have laying around that you can put to work for you? Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, if you're struggling right now, you're probably not going too many places. Maybe you're only Dave, I only drive like really one day a week, like guaranteed, and that's to come here. I'm only guaranteed to drive one day a week. Any other time I'm in the house, or I take car services everywhere. But for you, if you're in the house right now, especially, but you got a car sitting outside, rent the car. Mm-hmm. Rent the car. Yeah. Let that car cash flow for you. Put it on Turo, put it on Hire Car. Call your friend and say, hey, I know you wrecked your car. You're still waiting on the insurance benefits. Borrow my car or rent my car for 30 days. Yeah. Here's what you can do. Rent the assets that you have access to, and don't ever take for granted that your brain isn't an asset. Do you know how many one-day consultations I've done for people who just needed my brain there? I don't have to bring anything except for the way that I think. Yep. And that's by way of $500 an hour, $750 an hour, $5,000 for the day. You just need me to show up and help you think through something? Yeah. There's something that you can help somebody think through. There's an entrepreneur that's building a business right now who needs help, but they can't pay somebody full time. Dave is promoting this opening, right? And he might need these clips done today, and he might say to you, well, I can't pay you a full-time salary. And you'll say, I just need today. Mm-hmm. Can I just come today and make an extra $200? Mm-hmm. There are people who will go for that. I need closet organization. Are you good at keeping a clean home? Like, you start thinking about what your skills are. If you're super tidy and organized, put on Instagram right now. I'm running closet organization specials. I will come and reorganize the clutter in your bathroom cabinets. I will come and reorganize your pantry. I actually need that right now. Yeah. Right now. 100%. Do you need somebody to sit with your loved one? Right? Just you don't have the money to do X, Y, and Z. You need somebody to sit at home with your loved one while they're watching soap operas. I can do that. There's so many things, you guys, but here's what it's going to require. It is going to require the most humility that you've probably ever had to display ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. When I was packaging up my clothes and my daughter's clothes and all the things, it didn't feel good. I'm selling things that I want to keep. I know that you know that I need this money. I know that you know as much as I do that I need this money. But you're going to have to practice humility. When I'm going to people and I'm saying, hey, listen, what do you need help with in this season? You have access to people. Ask them, what do you need help with in this season? Can I come and do that today with you for $20 an hour?
Yeah, I think we can end it right there with drop your pride and get to work.
You have to drop your pride and get to work. And that really is it. It's twofold. Drop your pride and get to work, but also understand that your fear isn't real. We already know that fear is evidence of something that hasn't even happened yet. You're fearing what might happen. This hasn't happened. But just like me, when I made that post on Facebook that was beating Pam Jones to telling my story, I'm scared, I'm embarrassed, I think I'm going to lose friends and people aren't going to take me seriously. I made the post, and would you imagine what my surprise was when I realized everybody was experiencing something in their own way? That was embarrassing. I literally freed people by releasing my fear to have the ability to tell their story. So some of you aren't asking because you are afraid. Some of you aren't asking because you were that girl or that guy. We've all been there. Just as quickly as we can get to the top, we can be humbled and be brought back to the bottom. All right? So drop the pride, free yourself from the fear, and let's get creative. Let's start thinking and get to work.
Let's go. Listen, I know you was a star point guard in the early 2000s, and you can't go drive. You better drive the Uber.
You were the star point guard in the early 2000s. You better call all those people you know with little boys and start teaching them how to play basketball.
Yo, you know what's crazy?
Quit playing with me. The money is available.
Listen, man, you did all that lifestyle marketing during the pandemic when all that money was flowing, and now you're having a struggle. And you don't want to humble yourself and go get a job.
Go get a job.
Go feed your family.
Go get a job.
Okay, so
even a part-time job. I started with temp jobs. I went to temp jobs. I don't know if this temp agency is still around, but I went to a place called On-Site Solutions. I think they changed their name to On-Site Staffing. This was years ago, but for years, on and off for 10 years, whenever I was in between jobs, I went there for leasing positions, and you don't have to have any experience for leasing apartments, maintenance roles, and all the things. I'm talking about $10 an hour, $11 an hour. I did not care as long as it covered gas and food.
100%. Listen, man, or go get a job outside the city, like overnight. Nobody even sees you. You're good.
Go get a job outside the city where nobody even knows you. Work late at night, but also just... Who cares? Let me tell you something. People judge me when I'm doing well. People judge me when I'm happy. People judge me when I'm sad. People judge me when I'm not doing well. But you know, the final opportunity they have to judge you is when you die from starvation.
100%.
Okay?
Or you're a deadbeat human that's not feeding your kids because you're too cool to go. Like, oh, listen. I'm telling you, I think I would just have to do what I had to do, and I would grind, and I would document the whole process because I know I'm going back to a millionaire.
Yeah.
Like, easy.
We told a few jokes in this episode, but we also gave you some really solid advice. We feel for you. If your back is up against the wall right now and your SNAP benefits are being delayed or denied or eliminated altogether, hopefully some of these strategies can help you seriously. If you know that you are qualified and capable, never allow yourself to be in a situation like this because you'd rather be at home or because you'd rather work part-time hours and you don't feel like doing something. Never let somebody, if you're capable, be in control of how you feed yourself and your family ever again. And for those of you who are incapable, you just can't. This episode was not for you. We're not talking to you. We understand that there's a large portion of our world who needs help. And we'll be helping. Check us out on Instagram after you see this episode. Dave and I are actually in the streets helping out. And we'll see you on next week's episode of Social Proof Podcast.
Close it out.
Oh, okay. I thought we were closed.
No, this is a serious message. It's going to sound funny.
Okay.
But it's a very, very serious message.
It's so unserious.
No, it is serious.
Oh, gosh.
See, now it's all right.
What's the message?
If you are in a bind, do not get in Nate's car.
Get out of my face. Bye.